Hi, I'm Kathy Dewey, and I have an art lesson for you today. It can be done with first grade all the way up through high school, and it's about communicating visually. So let's get started. Okay, so this is called Communicating with Art, and it's for a project called Creating in Place, which is the Napa Valley Youth Art Collective. And I taught this lesson last year to my second grade students. And I'm going to show you a few examples. They used Sharpies and water-based markers and pencil. But if you don't have Sharpies at home, you can just use pencil. And if you don't have water-based markers, you can use colored pencils or crayons. Just use the lighter colors. If there's a purple you want to use a light purple. If there's a red you want to use a lighter red so it doesn't block out your pencil writing. Okay, so what it is it's a verbal lesson, but it's also a visual lesson, and it's talking about who you are, what you care about, and how you can use your voice to do things in the world and in your school and at home. Your voice is a powerful tool, and you can use it to make the world a better place. So this is Carly, and she loves her sister. She wants to be kind and use her voice to share my ideas. You all have lots of good ideas, and I hope you do use your voice to share them. This is Mateo. He loves teddy bears, Mr. SVH, family, and he can use his voice to be kind. That's a great way to use your voice. I am Brandon. I love to play games. I can use my voice to say nice words, to talk with a friend, and to talk kind. So Brandon's got some really nice colors and lines here. And I think this is really fun, the way he made his O into a heart. He's also got some complementary colors next to each other here, red and green. Those look really good together. They complement each other. So he's using horizontal lines, color, and words to tell the story of who he is. He's communicating with you visually. I am Landon. I love puffins. I love animals. I can use my voice to help. We can all use our voice to help. So Landon's done some fun things here. In between words, he made some decorations. These are circles. One has hearts in it. One has another like pattern in there. And he's added some hearts in here. And lots of warm colors at the top and some nice cool colors down here at the bottom. And he's done some kind of fancy letters down here too. I am Pierre. I love animals and art and my family, and I can use my voice to change the school and save the trees. So this is really fun. I love how he has taken and put all these trees down here and made a nice pattern of trees. And that really emphasizes his point about the trees. And you don't have to use all of these sections and fill them up with words. If you want to leave one of your sections blank, you can, or two sections. It's up to you. You can fill up all of them with words because you have a lot to say. You can use words and you can use pictures. It's totally up to you. That's your artistic choice to do that. So if you know what you want to say, you know your name, you know what you love, and you know what you want to use your voice for, like as soon as I showed you these examples, you were like, I got it. Then you're good to go, and you can start writing down who you are, what you love, and how you want to use your voice. But if you're having a little bit of a hard time and you're kind of like, I don't know what I really love, and I'm not sure what I want to use my voice to do, these questions can help you brainstorm and kind of figure that out. So one of the things that would help is, what do you enjoy giving people? That's a way that you're helping, and that's a way that you're using yourself to help other people. So maybe you enjoy cooking and you enjoy giving some of the things you cooked to people. Maybe you enjoy drawing and you enjoy sharing your art, and people enjoy having your art in their lives. There's all kinds of different ways that you can help people. And those kind of things are things that you probably love. You might really love cooking. Maybe you really love your family and you help your parents take care of your brothers and sisters, or your pets, or your grandparents. So all those kind of things, think about what you do, and that will probably help you figure out what you really love, what's really important to you. Another way to figure that out might be to say, well, how would my mom and dad describe me? What would they say my favorite thing is? You know, so if you ask yourself some of these questions, it might help you figure out some of the things you want to say. And this lesson, it's for elementary all the way up to high school. So it can be very simple or it can get more complex. It's up to the ages of the students that you're teaching. One way to decide how you might want to use your voice is to think about, what bothers me, what bugs you. Is there something in the world that really bothers you, that you're like, I really wish this wasn't the way it is, and what I really want to try to change that. So that might be something you could use your voice to do. Maybe you want to help animals. Maybe you think that there's too much pollution and you want to help collect trash and you want to make sure people recycle. So there's all kinds of things in these questions that can help you figure out what you want to say. And this would be, I think, probably half the lesson, is figuring out what you want to say, writing it out, figuring out how everything is spelled, and then you can move into making that visual, artistic piece that shows who you are and what you want to say in a visual way that's fun and interesting for people to look at. It's eye-catching, and when people see it up on the wall, they're gonna want to walk over there, and they're gonna want to be like, what is this? Who made this? This is really cool. I want to check this out. So this is a good place to pause the video, figure out what you want to say, and figure out if you know how to spell all your words, and then go on into the rest of the video that I'm going to show you in a minute. And there's, oh, hang on a second, it froze. So, all right, so here's mine. I put, I am Kathy. I love hugs, our planet, learning, kindness, creating. I can use my voice to teach, protect the earth, love, and change. So basically it's I am, I love, and I can use my voice too. But you can choose to communicate whatever you want about yourself. So if you want to add some other things into there, you can, or you can just keep it very simple, like I have. One of the things I want you to think about when you're doing this is the colors that you decide to use next to each other. Colors look different depending on what kind of colors are around them. So we have these colors here, purple and yellow. Those are complementary colors. They complement each other. They look really good together. So you might want to think about complementary colors. I have purple and yellow here. I have red and green here. That's another set of complementary colors. And the third set of complementary colors is orange and blue. But I haven't just used complementary colors together. I started with yellow. Then I thought, well, I know purple looks really good next to yellow. But then I thought, you know, I want to go with some cool colors here in the middle. Purple, blue, and green are cool colors. They look like the shade, shadows, lakes, grass. So then we have the warm colors here, red and orange, and then yellow up here. But red and orange creates a nice warm section down here where I have love, which to me is a warm kind of thing. And then I wanted to end it with another complementary color, the blue. So when you're doing your colors, don't just put any old color. Think about what colors you want to use, where you want to use them, what colors you're going to put next to them. Maybe you just want to use warm colors. You don't want to use any cool colors. Or maybe you only want to use cool colors and no warm colors. It's totally up to you. You don't have to write words in all of the sections. And I really liked that one little guy who put the trees at the bottom. I think if I would have seen that before I did mine, I probably would have put some trees at the bottom of mine, or filled that last section in with something that wasn't words, something that was a pattern or a picture of something. And I did put some patterns in between each one of my thoughts just to kind of separate them. And I wrote the word love inside of a heart, made it fit into that heart shape. And that was kind of a fun thing to do. So get creative with it and just kind of see where your creativity takes you. All right, so now I'm going to show you how to do the drawing part of this and give you a few pointers. So hang on one second and let me change this. Okay, so now I'm going to show you some of the things about the drawing part of it and how to do those words in that kind of stretched out way that we did. So you're going to start out with horizontal lines. Horizontal lines are lines that go back and forth across, but not up and down. And I'm not going to make all my lines the same. I'm going to change them, but I'm keeping them fairly close together and fairly gentle curves. Okay, so that makes it almost look like sand dunes or ocean waves. And it makes it pretty easy to write your words in between them, because you're going to write your words in these sections from the top to the bottom. So some of them are going to be really tall and some of them are going to be skinny. And you can use lowercase or uppercase, but you do want them to fit inside that whole section. And one thing you don't want to do is make your spaces so skinny that you have not got much room to write. So like right here, you're not going to be able to get any words in there. And it's going to be kind of hard in here too. And a little bit hard to read. So you don't want to get them too squished. All right, so let's try something else. One thing that I noticed is some people really wanted to do super bumpy lines. And those are really fun to draw, but they are going to make it a little bit more difficult to do your words. So if I write my word in here, I'm stretching it to go from the top of the line down to the bottom of the other line. Now watch when I do it in this really bumpy area, it's a little bit trickier. Now it doesn't mean you can't do it. I'm just letting you know, if you do decide to do those really bumpy lines, it's going to take you longer. It's going to be a little more difficult. It's going to be more challenging. So know that ahead of time before you decide if you want to do that. All right, so here I go. I've decided I'm ready. I know what I want to say. I know how to spell all my words, and I'm going to start doing my lines. So I'm just going to start out with some curvy lines. And remember, you don't want to do them all the same, because the more different they are, the more interesting they are to look at. So here we go. Now I'm going to start out and say I am, and put my name here. And you can use uppercase letters or lowercase letters. I love, and I'm going to come down here and I'm going to start doing some lowercase letters here. I love art, comma, hugs, comma, learning, and this is challenging to write your letters like this. You're not used to doing it, so you will get better at it after you do it a little bit. But one of the things I have noticed students doing is sometimes they forget to go to the top of the line and they just write their letters along the bottom. And they're going along and they're just having a great time. But it does not fill up that whole space, and it doesn't look quite as interesting and fun. So don't forget to stretch your letters out and have them go all the way from the top to the bottom, like so. And once you start to get the hang of it, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to draw letters in a different way. And if you want to make a symbol in between a word, you can put a symbol in between. I love art, hugs, learning, kindness, and then it would just keep on going. So you guys get the idea of how you're supposed to do that. Just go slow, take your time. You're using pencil, so you can erase if you make a mistake. Don't worry. And then if you have at the end, if you have a Sharpie, you can go over your pencil lines with a Sharpie. But if you don't have a Sharpie, that's okay. You can just use a pencil. And then you're going to color in all of your sections with different colors. I had my students use water-based markers, but if you don't have markers, you can use colored pencils or crayons. Just pick lighter colors, like light blue instead of dark blue, no black, probably no brown, and then your words will still pop off the page with the color behind them. So hang on just 1 second here. Okay, so now you have all the instructions and you know how to do it. So just take your time, have fun, create, come up with all kinds of fun ideas of ways that you can make this your very own work of art, and think about what you want to say so that when people look at this, you've communicated with them, you've given them the information that they need to know who you are by looking at your art. And I'd love to see what you make, and have fun creating in place.